Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Infinite Trade. My name is Robin, and let's do a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for the coming week and for tomorrow. So far, what happened in Nifty and Bank Nifty? We'll just quickly have a review on that. So this is the weekly chart, and we saw that Nifty showed a sharp recovery from here, and this is the first time it is showing some signs of correction. So this recovery started from 16,400 and we went all the way to 18,350, so almost about 2000 points rally, and right now we are trading at 17,600. So after this rally we have almost given up about 750 points, and if you look at the global scenario, SGX indicates a gap down of around 200 points. Okay, so this is what happened in Nifty so far. And similarly, if we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty also gave a rally from close to 34,000 and we went all the way up to 30. So this is 38,850 and we have just given a small correction so far. So the correction in Nifty seems to be a little bigger comparatively. If we look Bank Nifty, this is just a small dip. So right now the question is whether the market is bullish or is it turning bearish or what is it? So that is something which we are going to discuss in this particular video. So let's begin our analysis based on the weekly chart. So how do I normally analyze the weekly chart is I look for, so there are few things that I check out for. First is on a weekly chart, we look for a weekly support and resistance. Okay, so for a weekly support and resistance, what all things you can follow is either you can look for a trend line or you can look for any specific candlestick pattern. Okay, candlestick patterns. So whatever we learned in our technical analysis, like any specific pattern or any candlestick pattern can help you identify a weekly support and resistance. So first what we'll do is we'll take out a weekly support and resistance, and then we'll plan and see what are the shorter time frame resistances and support that we can take out in Nifty and Bank Nifty. So right now if you look at Bank Nifty, see in this particular moment you can hardly make out anything. Okay, there is no clear pattern visible. So if there is no clear pattern visible, obviously we'll not get any kind of a pattern. So the second thing is we'll look for any candlestick pattern. So if you see we have a dip here and then a rise here. This is on a weekly, so there is a possibility we may dip something like this and then we can do a rally something like this. Okay, based on a weekly, or else there is another chance which is rare, but we can do something like this. Okay, break this low and fall down further. So right now if we need some support and resistance, what should be the plan and what should be the idea? So usually the best way or the easiest way to do is, just identify a trend somewhere. Like for in this case, so the video can be a bit longer because we are discussing even the weekly chart and then finally for the intraday, so it can be a bit big, so please bear with me. So we have a sharp fall from this side, and after a fall we have an indecision candle. These indecision candles are very important because they decide whether the trend changes or it continues to go down. Okay, so in this case it trapped people here and then it went down. Then again we have a indecision candle here, and here finally market took a decision that it has to go up. So this is the case so far. So right now bank nifty is here. So to find a support on a weekly time frame, I check out for a nearest indecision candle. So nearest indecision candle is this one. Okay, so the high of this indecision candle can act as a support, because here it tried to break it, then it came down, and then it broke this particular level strongly. So now this particular level can act as a support. So let's try and see what is that particular level. So the high of this candle is 36,844. So your weekly support is 36,844. Okay, now we need a weekly resistance. So here we have a resistance because this is a short-term resistance, and we saw that bank nifty fell sharply from 38,850. Okay, so this becomes our, so that is this particular level. So weekly resistance would be, so our weekly resistance is 38,850 or 55. Okay, I think the high is 55. Yeah, 38,855.55. So you just have to keep these two levels in your mind. So this is going to be a weekly support and resistance. So whenever bank nifty breaks this level, obviously you will see some sharp momentum on whichever side it breaks. So make a note of it that this is your weekly support and resistance. And then what we'll do is, for a regular analysis, we will go on a shorter time frame and see what are the support resistances that we can take. So now let's discuss for Nifty also. Yeah. So in Nifty, if you look at the closest candle, this was the one. Okay, so what is the high of that candle? The high is 17,489. Okay, so this particular area. So weekly, so we will not consider this support, but this is something which I wanted to show you. So weekly support comes out to be 17,489, and on last Friday the low that we made was 17,485. Okay, so the low of this particular candle is 17,485, and we closed at 17,617. So what does that mean? It has taken support at this point and immediately retraced nearly about 120 or 130 points. So I hope you understand why this is so important. The doji candle or the indecision candle, they can help you to find out a support or resistance. And if we have to consider another indecision candle, this is the one. Okay, so we will keep this as our weekly support because 485 or 489 is already tested, and the market is also showing a gap down. So we need another support so that we can plan our trades accordingly. So we'll have to check the high of this particular candle. So high of this candle is 17,155. Okay, just a moment, let me just write that down. 17,155. So now this level is going to be your next important support. And what will be the resistance? Of course, this one, which is so weekly resistance will be 18,350. Okay, so just keep this in mind, 18,350, 17,155 and 17,485. So if we break 485, there is a big chance that we'll approach 17,155. So this should be our levels for the week. Now we'll discuss all the data and see on a shorter time frame what should be our daily support and resistance. So let's quickly check out okay, this is option chain. Just a second. Okay, so I'm opening the participant wise open interest. So if you look at the participant wise open interest, FIIs, if you remember, on Thursday we saw that they were holding around 23,000 future shorts. Okay, so that day only I think I had mentioned that they're holding future shorts. That means we can see some strong momentum downside, and I would also mention that the most of the positions are taken in Nifty and not in Bank Nifty. So Nifty, if you see, definitely on Friday it showed a sharp momentum downside. So again, if you look at Friday's position, so they have closed future long and they have created future shorts. So again, they continue to be bearish. But if you look at call and put options, they have about 7,000 call long and 1,600 put long. So the options data is pretty limited based on it being a Friday. So Monday we'll actually see the actual option positions. But looking at the future, we can definitely be sure that the market continues to be bearish. And this stock futures continues to remain bearish, and this is just keeping on increasing day by day. So usually when this happens, the market is in a corrective mode. Okay, so we need to see that so when can you expect a reversal? So based on participant wise OI data, I'll give you a clue. So what happens is when the market has to reverse or it has to continue to go to its uptrend, then you will see stock futures long quantities more than 15,000 every day. Okay, so more than 15,000 long positions in stock futures. When you start seeing it continuously, like 3-4 days, 5 days, you're seeing that they are continuously going long, that means the market is going to take a U-turn. So till the time we do not see a positive position in the stock future, the selling pressure can still remain. Okay, I hope everyone understood this point. And if you look at pros are long in futures, however they are short in call options and they have bought put options. But again, being Friday, these quantities are really less. So anything that happens against to their positions on Monday, that can be easily adjusted, because they usually their quantities are around 25,000 to 30,000, and pros, you know that they take position in lakhs. So there is a room for adjustment for them. But otherwise, looking at FIIs and pros future positions, market looks volatile. Okay, so this is the view on based on participant wise open interest. So FIIs are still bearish and we need to wait for their option positions to be created tomorrow. Now we'll quickly check out the option chain to understand what happened on Friday. So if you look at option chain in Nifty, we can just see exits. Okay, exits from the put side, and call side people have added positions aggressively, and 17,600 has a lot of change in open interest on the call side comparatively on the put side. And if we look at the charts, the OI charts, it is clearly visible that so we have resistances from 17,700, okay, from this point, and we can also clearly see that 17,600 has a lot of call writers present here, and beyond this we have put writers, but market can test the lows. Okay, and if you look at the CE versus PEOI, we have a lot of open interest in the call side and very limited in the put side. And since market was one directional on Friday, we can see that only call writers were present and put writers were not that aggressive. So this is what we can understand in Nifty. Now we'll also check Bank Nifty. Yeah, if you look at Bank Nifty is also somewhat similar. We can see that people have exited the put positions here and call positions have been added here aggressively. And similarly, if we look at the OI charts, so we have call open interest higher, and here if you see again change in open interest on the call side is higher, but the put side is better than what Nifty did. And 37,500 at the moment, it looks like a straddle here, and we have resistances here and then support on the downside. Okay, so this is what the option chain has to say. So let's see what is the premium of 37,500 straddle. It is close to 800 rupees. So 800 points up and down they can manage. So that means from 37,500 to 38,300, and similarly on the downside it should be 36,700 or 800. Now we'll move on to our charts on a smaller time frame to understand what should be our strategy for tomorrow. So first I'm changing it to a daily candle. Okay, on a daily time frame, if you see Nifty and Bank Nifty both have put a doji kind of a candle or an indecision candle. So I've always told you that so people wait for the breakout of the indecision candle. So if it is an indecision candle like this, so if the high breaks we can see a momentum, if the low breaks we can see a momentum, and sometimes if this candle is break, then next day the market tries to stay inside this and we can see another inside candle kind of a thing. So Bank Nifty's candle is a little smaller comparatively Nifty. So if you look at Nifty, the doji is a bigger candle because the high is 17,707 and the low is 17,485. So how many points movement it is? It is around 220 points. So 220 points move it has given on Friday. So we need to see which side of the candle or which side of the high or low it breaks. Now let's move on to 15 minutes time frame, and I'll activate all the lines. Okay, so if you look at the blue line, so this is the weekly support and resistance I have marked. Okay, so I have written weekly support and weekly resistance. So let me just bring it here. Yeah, so this is my weekly support and resistance, and for now the immediate support happens to be 37,260. Okay, so Bank Nifty did not break this particular low the entire day, and in the last 30 minutes it showed a strong up move. So that means buyers are definitely present here. So we will only look for selling once we break this. So if we break 37,260, then we know that the immediate support is our weekly support, which is at 36,844. So this should be your target once it breaks this level. Okay, and we may see a sharp bounce here. So tomorrow, in case if we open gap down, okay, so there are two possibilities. The first thing that you need to understand is this is a strong support. Okay, because though there was selling pressure, and in the cash market I think FI sold about more than 3,000 crores if I'm not wrong. I'm just quickly checking it. Yeah, it's around 3,150 crores. So despite of that selling, Bank Nifty did not break the low, and at the end it went up and closed on the top. So tomorrow there is a possibility, looking at the SGX Nifty, we may gap down. So in case if we gap down within this level, okay, so we'll wait for the candles to see if we break this, or are we still holding this level and closing at the top. So if we do not break this level, okay, if we do not break this level, or if we test it and close it like this, then you may take an upside entry. Your first target would be the same high, which is 37,750, and then we'll see, there is a possibility it may halt here and then give a breakout, and it may go towards the upside and test 38,000 once. So there is a possibility. Okay, and the second thing is, so 37,800 is going to be a resistance. So this level is still a resistance. Okay, just in case if we open gap up, so for example, if in the morning SGX Nifty recovers and it shows any sort of a gap up, then if Bank Nifty gaps up here in this level, so this is between 37,750 to 37,900. Okay, if Bank Nifty gaps up here, then this is a very good opportunity to short 38,000 call option. Okay, or you can in fact buy a put also, but I'm not sure if it would come down fast, but selling a call option is looks a bit better. So we can definitely take a downside trade here in case if a gap up. If we open flat, I think I will not trade upside till the time we give a strong close above 38,070. So this level. Okay, so only when we close above this level strongly is when we can plan an upside trade. Otherwise, what will happen is this would become like a no trade zone and market may hover here like this, and unnecessarily our stop losses would get hit. So upside trade we can avoid because of the global scenario, and in case if we see a candle closing below this level, definitely we'll take a put trade here, and our immediate target would be 36,844. Okay, so I hope the plan is clear for Bank Nifty. I have clearly told you where we'll buy put. So one of the place to buy put is here, second place to buy put is here, and in case if we open gap down and we are still taking support of this, then the next candle, if it breaks the high, we'll definitely buy a call option here, and our first target becomes 37,750. So your entry would be somewhere close to 37,400, and from there we'll expect an up move until 37,750. Okay, so this is the plan for Bank Nifty. Now let's quickly check out Nifty. So for Nifty, the weekly resistance happens to be 18,350, and the weekly support we spoke about, it is 17,155. And there is another support that I've drawn here, which happens to be at 17,285. So when should we trade this 17,285 is when we break this particular low. So let me mark this particular low. Okay, so if Nifty closes below 17,500, then we'll take a downside trade, that is we'll buy a put here, and our immediate target is 17,285. Okay, and when should we go for an upside trade is once we cross this particular high. So what is that high? 17,700. Okay, so if Nifty closes above 17,700, we can take an upside trade. Our target should be 17,890. Okay, the line that I've marked here. And in case if we gap up at this place, for which there is no chance, But in case if we gap up around 17,900, definitely you can buy a put, and our first target would be around 17,600. Okay, so almost 200 point, 300 point fall. So this is where we'll buy put, and this is where we'll buy put. And same like in Bank Nifty, I told you that here you can expect a support, but I'm not interested in Nifty here, so I will not suggest you to buy a call option here. But in case if it breaks this level, we are definitely going to buy a put option. So this is my view for Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. I have shared a lot of new learning today, so please keep that in mind, how I take weekly support and resistances and how I analyze the data. So thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.